Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 9 preview between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Oakland Raiders. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Buccaneers.
Normally, when you lose guys on your offensive line with the caliber of Carl Nix and Davin Joseph, you expect your offensive production to drop just a little bit. But I think the Bucs can still have some success moving the football this week versus the Oakland Raiders. They're just going to have to switch their game plan up just a little bit. You look for the quick passing game. No more end around really has been. You have to get him the football quickly on a short passing game, allow his run after the catch skills to take flight, and you also can get the running game going. Backup offensive linemen can come in and run the football. You don't know about the pass protection. That's why the quick passing game and the running game can be your best friend versus an opposing team. Now, when you look at the defensive side of the football, I have to say I've been quite impressed with Daquan Bowers and him coming back from injury and what he did last week versus the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, a small sample size, but still nonetheless promising. And I think this week versus Oakland, they can cause some disruption up front versus that Raiders offensive line, getting their hands in the way to get some batted passes from Carson Palmer. But on the back end, Mark Barron and guys like Levante David, the strong side backer, those guys will be vital this week. Barron and David will have to make sure they keep Brandon Myers, the excellent tight end, well covered and take him away from that Raiders offense. That's their number one target in the passing game. You take away the middle, you force those other receivers to make plays downfield, and I think that could play into the Bucs' advantage. But let's move over to the Oakland Raiders to see what they can do this week versus Tampa Bay. When I look at the Raiders offense, I look at a team that wants to push the ball downfield. The problem is they're only going to the tight end. They have to get the receivers involved. You got to get everybody involved in that passing game. This is going to make your offense that much more dangerous. So yes, Brandon Myers is having an outstanding season, the lead receiver of this Raiders offense, but you want to get Marcel Reese involved. You want to get Rod Streeter, Darius Hayward-Bate, Denarius Moore is one of the more explosive playmakers on this offense. Get those guys involved early. So this week versus Tampa, I will go spread. I will go 3 wide. I will go some 4 wide, different personnel, but I would attack vertically down the field because we know the Raiders can rely back on their running game, and I think opening up that passing game will allow them to be able to run the football with much more effectiveness. Now, when you look at the defensive side of the football, I've been quite impressed by the rookie Miles Burris. He's done everything exactly the same way he's done it at San Diego's 8. Big playmaker, always around the football, being disruptive. But let's go in the secondary. I know the Buccaneers will go 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. So look at guys like Pat Lee, and he's going to have to play above the rim. The Bucs love to throw two-way balls up to the wide receivers. They love to play high point. They love to play above the rim. Pat Lee and company and Michael Huff will have to win some jump ball situations in order to be successful this week versus Tampa. If they can do that, and the defense will be able to get Tampa off the field because they do struggle on third downs. I think Mike Sullivan will be an X factor. He's the offensive coordinator for Tampa. He's going to have to adjust the protection calls to supplement the loss of those 2 outstanding guards up front. And for the Raiders, I really think their special teams will play a huge role in this ball game. It's all about flipping field position and maximizing points. You have to score points, and Sebastian Janikowski, once he crosses the 50, is already in range. Let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game, and this is an even matchup top to bottom. The Bucs have the advantage in the secondary. I can trust their secondary to make plays on the ball more so than I can trust Oakland's, but Oakland does have a good advantage up front. It will be interesting to see how that offensive line handles that Buccaneers defensive front. I like the Bucs in this game. I think their offensive attack is a lot more balanced than the Raiders' offensive attack, and you can trust the Bucs to be able to play any type of game. If the passing game is going south, they can run the football. If the running game is getting south, they can also spread it out and throw it. And I think that versatility within their offense gives them the advantage over the Oakland Raiders. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Buccaneer fan forums and Raider fan forums for always showing football game plan support.